live. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, I'm Victor Martinez Jr., and we are here at the Creek in the Cave podcast studio doing the first episode of the High Today show, the podcast spinoff of the High Tonight show that I do every last Wednesday. And so we have here Matt Alvarez and George Paul, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys are the behind the scenes guys. Matt makes all the magic happen. I don't even have good handwriting. I wouldn't be able to read my own script if you weren't there. You have the lineup put together and everything like that. So, I wanted this show to be, have you guys involved and have more say in it, because it's just me doing that up there.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be a longer version of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's not too much. I didn't reinvent the wheel. It's just a weed talk show. All right. I'm trying to be like Jay Leno with a blunt. And I started doing it out in Los Angeles in 2016. Someone I knew did like he was trying to run his own like studio, and he did it was like, I don't know, what do they call it, like what was it, like the daytime talk shows, like they do daytime streaming for all types. They wanted their own network.
Yeah.
And so he had like palm readers, and he was just trying to fill a 24-hour block, and I did a few comedy specials with him. And so he approached me asking, do you have any ideas for an hour block? And I was like, it's hard for me to hold a conversation unless I'm high as shit. So I knew I wanted to do something in that sense. And I was like, well, let's do like a weed. I like wearing a tie, so let's do a weed talk show.
Yeah.
And we did that there. And I did a season there in his studio. And then that thing got shut down. And then I turned my garage into a studio, and I put a green screen up, and I did 2 more seasons in there. And then at the end of the 3rd season, I found a theater, a big, beautiful theater that was going to have, we did our season finale, season 3 in there. And then COVID happened, and we got shut, like everything shut down. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then I came here. I already had family here. I was born in Dallas, and I always visit Austin, but I was just coming in between shutdowns, and I didn't know that Rogan was here. I didn't know shit was going down. I didn't know that like everybody was moving central, and I was part of the first wave that came through. Right, the mass exodus out of Los Angeles.
The mass exodus, the grand migration.
It was a big deal. Like as far as entertainment was concerned, right? And so things weren't even open here yet. Like it was just like 50-50. But the Creek was here, and this is one of the first places I came to. And then, things got started. I met Matt. I was doing open mics, all around town, and I met you, and I met you guys. Like, yeah, I think George came whenever we had already gotten the show started. I don't know. So I just bring out the concept, very straightforward, right? And what got you invested in it, Matt?
So funny enough, I was going to UT. I just just transferred there after playing college football for like 2 years. I never actually played. I was just like on the bench, but I had great grades. So I was like, well, let's go to UT. And that's what brought me here. So I was here. I liked comedy. I was like a writing tutor while I was at UIW, and so I liked writing, so I got involved with is like an SNL, but like for UT students. There's a TV station on campus called TSTV. It's the only FCC like broadcasted. We were like a local channel that we abided by FCC rules and regulations and everything, and so our slot was the late night like SNL show, and I'd like kind of started it, and they needed like someone to be like a head writer and producer for their new segment. So I applied just out of like, screw it, let's try it. And I was doing that, and I loved it. And I liked writing the news jokes. I liked the way our show ran with like, it was following, it had its beats, its segments. Everything was actually pretty formulaic because we were doing it every other week. So we had to follow like a very show business formula. And I was interested in doing something like that, out of school as well. I was actually in talks with another friend who wanted to do a Tonight Show, but like everybody's drunk, and
Oh my
we had like
God, that
done
would be
some
crazy.
some pre-planning,
That
and
would
like
be
I
insane.
liked the idea. We'd like had some ideas for some like stuff we wanted to do with it, and I didn't really like alcohol. I'm not a drinker.
Me neither. I don't even know how to drink.
I don't like it.
I usually skip to it. You know,
yeah.
like if I just want to.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be drunk, I'm gonna be drunk.
Bro, you guys,
Yeah, that's
you
how
guys
I am.
don't booze? What are you talking
It's
about?
very, when I
You
drink,
guys
it's
don't like
very
to get booze
alcoholic.
down?
I'm like,
I
let's
don't-
just get.
I don't even
guys-
know what the proper drinks are when I'm at the
Yeah.
bar.
Oh,
I
you
don't
guys
know
are not.
what
You
to
guys don't
ask
have just
for.
straight about a pint of Guinness now.
Yeah, someone's like, "Do you want well or top?" I was like, "What do you mean? like is that
Yeah.
sativa?"
I
I don't know
Yeah.
drinking
Yeah.
games. Hey,
That's
what about you
funny.
guys? Do you guys know the rules of beer pong?
I get beat at it.
I'm
every
good at
time.
I'm good at playing it, but I don't like the drinking
People
aspect.
get mad at me for not saying firing. I'm firing up. I'm fired up, or whatever the fuck. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get all the balls into the fucking cups, dude. It's like, but hey, either way though, I think that the Hight Tonight Show premise is pretty great in and of itself to like have a late night talk show in and of itself, and also like the cool thing about like what you're saying about like the formula and talk show
Mhm.
stuff. I actually like. I dated like hooked up like a few chicks from that like the UT like news channel thing.
Wow,
So
that's
I have to like
that's a
talk to you
good
about
plug.
that after that. Yeah,
yeah.
Shout out
thanks.
to UT.
yeah, dude,
Good
UT's
for you,
crazy.
George.
No, but yeah, no, I don't know. I can't say her name, but she
Yeah,
she was
please
like on the
don't.
news team. Yeah,
She was on
That's
the news
cool.
team. You probably
Yeah.
knew her, Matt.
You probably
Yeah,
know her.
maybe.
maybe. Yeah.
Cool.
That's a connection that we had before we met. No, but yeah.
So you started doing that, and then what? We met at you already been doing comedy.
So yeah, I had like just been kind of just getting into it. That's what even working on that SNL kind of show was what it was. I was trying to get into comedy and start writing comedy. And I had met you at your mic, and my plan with him to do the Drunk Tonight show it wasn't really panning out because he was like involved with other stuff. And then I had talked to you at your mic, and you told me that you did the weed talk show, and I was like, that's so much better for me. I smoke weed. I don't like drinking. I was like, that sounds really cool. And you're like, man, I need a producer for it though. I just moved. And I was like, holy shit, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And I didn't want weed to be like a big part of because I know there's a lot of stoner comedians and they just joke about every time they get high. And I didn't want to be that kind of comic. So the idea of being like the face of it, I didn't really like. That's why he wanted to be the face of the drunk one. And I was like, that's perfect. I don't want to be a drunk idiot on stage. So, and now that and so
I'm perfectly fine with being the high idiot on stage.
Yeah.
And that's but that is also part of it. That's
It
why
is-
I
well,
put on a
yeah,
suit
yeah.
and tie, and that's why it's very straightforward conversations.
yeah.
One of like the points of the show was that I was trying to prove that we can have like a coherent conversation
Yeah.
Mm.
And
and
so
be fucked up.
I know that I
Like
write
right
a lot
now.
of jokes.
I'm
that
pretty
are-
high right now.
and be able to run something straightforward. There's
Yeah.
like a real structure to it.
Yeah.
And you would think that something coming from a bunch of potheads would just be kind of like
Musical
like a
numbers,
fever
too.
dream, just
Yeah.
kind of random shit running around. But
Yeah.
I come in like very structured,
Mhm.
like a monologue,
Mhm.
right? And then we
Mhm.
have the special guests, usually someone involved in the industry.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we'd have like representative from Beachbox to come in and talk about their company and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to our first guest, right? Usually a comedian.
Yeah.
And they'd come out, perform. It used to be, I don't know, like 4 or 5 minutes. Now we're doing like 10 minutes, right? For the heavy hitters.
Yeah. So we kind of structure it like a normal lineup show would be, where we go like the shorter at the front, and then we build up to, I try to have that headlining set be the most, like the crowd most warmed up, because I feel like one thing with the weed show is if you don't really know what's going on at first, like you have to kind of get it. And then once you get into the groove, and now that we've built like a steady audience of people who are coming back, and this is like, we get people who are telling us that this is their favorite time of the month. And so it's they're, they're on board, they get it now. And because it's not a traditional, it's not a traditional comedy show,
especially for the comedians that we invite people on, especially if you don't smoke. I'm just fine with that.
Oh yeah.
We've had people ask like, yo, I'm not even that much of a stoner. I'm like, well, if you're standing in the room, you might get high, just by like, being in the air.
Yeah.
I want to get a clip of all the times the comedians that don't smoke say, I'm like secondhand high right now. I think every comic that doesn't smoke says that.
You know, Casey Rocket, I looked him in the eyes and I was like, oh, this poor guy.
I hope he was
backflips.
I hope he was joking, but yeah, he did say, he's like, I don't feel normal. I like feeling normal.
No, I kind of felt it that day. I think that might have been real, you know.
It gets hazy in there, and that's why I love, we do the disco ball now, and you see the thick lines of smoke through all the, it's crazy. It's a
my mother swears by secondhand smoke. She's like, oh my god,
it's a real thing.
My god, no, but she's like days later, she's an Uber driver. She's an Uber. She's like, oh, the Uber driver must have been smoking in his car because I am so high right now.
Well, that's the thing about too. Cannabis is like the terpenes and stuff like that alone will have an effect on you, and that's just aromatic. You know, that's just smell.
Yeah, that's sort of like an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what an aphrodisiac is?
Yeah, like eating shellfish or whatever.
Yeah,
like, oysters,
something that turns you on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
An aphrodisiac.
I thought it was something added to your sperm count.
I feel like that's part of an aphrodisiac too. You know what I mean? Like an aphrodisiac is like I don't know. We should look it up probably.
But all right, so. And so, yeah, that was part of the thing. I'm glad that, you know, we both could see that as far as like the structure of the show and the point of it. And, you know, that's why I really appreciate, you know, you really make it come all together.
Yeah, Matt's a great producer.
Absolutely, dude.
Producer of the century.
Down, we have to, as far as like booking people right now, we're doing all that stuff our own. There's usually like a room full of people just for each of those tasks.
Yeah,
you know, individually, and like, you know, social booking behind the scenes, making it run, writing, and, you know, not too many, you know, shows like where they have like the team like that involved, but that's what we are. Like, it's ground level shit.
Yeah.
In the short year that we've been doing it here, I mean, it's come so much farther than where it started. I mean, I was in a legal state, California. You know, out here, Austin, it's just like decriminalized in the city alone. And we've gotten more, you know, just like come along farther, you know, and is appreciated more.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with one thing that's different about the market here in Texas than in like a legal state is that like, it's because we have to operate, a lot of it is like, you have to operate around the fact that it's not legal here. It's more, I don't know, like it's more of like a business, more of like people following, like you have to be strict with the rules, you have to be compliant, and then you have to be very knowledgeable of what it is that you can do and how to be compliant. And there's like a whole, I don't know, I've learned a lot of the business side of it, and that's kind of what I try to do is find the industry, and that's, you know, how we reach out to companies like Hemper and Wild Hemp, and then there's also like people here in Austin and this has been a huge help, is there's a lot of local people who just are interested in helping out the local people, and like you said, it's decriminalized here, so it's a lot more friendly. So like we have this company here with like Delete Glass. This is here in Austin.
Yeah, that's one of our desk pieces there. Show.
Yeah, these companies, there's a good representation of like the companies that are like here to help. And so that's really what's helped make the show come along. You know, all the vendors and stuff that we have outside, it's just like businesses wanting to support other businesses. And
the vendors are great.
Yeah.
That's
and
part
then
of the
shouts out to all the vendors.
Yeah. And then biggest of all, Jeremy Greens. He's another great example of like the local award-winning
hemp provider. He just had a grandkid recently. Shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah,
dude. He's like he's a character, dude. He's like, what's up, man? It's going on, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on real soon.
Yeah,
we've had him on the show several times, and we'll be able to talk to him over here longer. So what's it been like the last year, man? What have you learned? What do you think?
I've learned, like I said, a lot about the business, and then I've learned that it's a very big community, very much like comedy, you know, it's very community driven. It's a lot of like just people that you're friends with, people who want to help support you and kind of bring other people together. That's big in cannabis in general. I've learned a lot about I guess how our crowd works. It's very interesting. We run nothing but stoner shows. I've noticed that.
That was what I was gonna say earlier. Yeah,
I've noticed you can't you can't start them on time.
Mm-hmm.
One, no, they're never going to be on time. But then also, their reactions to comedy are different. Like you had said, they'll sit there and they'll go,
if you can,
that's funny.
like, yeah, as a
That's funny. I like
performer who
that.
doesn't smoke usually, you'd go on stage, perform completely sober, even for like, maybe they're drinking, but it's not a high audience. That's what our guests tell us constantly is like, yo, your fucking audience is fucked up out there.
Yeah.
And I can tell maybe that they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
But they're like studying you or something. You
Yeah.
know?
They're very like introspective.
Analytical and shit, just sitting there with the joint in their hand, just like, yes, they're doing well. Continue, please. And the joke might hit them like, a minute and a half after, and comedy's about beats. So, they're not used to like not receiving it. And so everyone's like, yeah, the show was great. I'm like, well, you could have said something, like you were fucked up, but they keep coming back.
Yeah,
It's
no,
growing
people
every
love
week.
it. It's every month.
And just because the nature of the show, even, no matter what title we work with, like ads would get pulled. So this is all mostly just word of mouth.
Yeah, it's a lot of word of mouth. And that's what makes, like, it speaks to the community aspect of it. But then I feel like it's very like special that people are coming because their friends talked about it, or their friends said that it would be a cool hang, or it's more of like it's not a big advertisement that you're seeing necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about this guy?
What is it?
It's the piece we got from Delete.
Oh yeah, I don't
this
even
is
know what it says.
42, right?
Did I even
Look at
use
this?
it?
I didn't notice this. I saw this piece and I just thought, wow, cool shapes, and it's a bubbler. That's so cool. And that's why I picked this piece.
Is what it is.
It's actually really strong. It feels like strong, sturdy, really quality glass. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, don't throw it against the
it looks
wall or
cool.
anything.
I don't throw it or anything,
cool.
but it's really nice.
I like the way that you can have it, the way it stands up.
But it's a
very
bubbler,
engineered well.
and I didn't realize it until someone told me after. But that's a butt plug. It's probably not.
It's
not
a style of a butt plug,
and then those are anal beads.
Yeah, for sure,
Right?
Yeah.
Do you want to hit this?
Yeah, I'd love
It
to.
looks like yeah. After that fact, that's
It's a
a
trade.
Yeah. Boom, bam.
Look at
I'm gonna
that.
need that light though. I think
Impressive. So we started doing a couple shows. We did like a first one in like a random warehouse somewhere.
this is yeah.
It was hot as shit.
That place is
and then
crazy.
we tried and we got into the creek and we started off out in the back. We actually used that backstage in the summertime. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And then it just changed in the seasons.
Well, now we throw Will Merrick, a local musician and comic, and he does jazz while we're setting up inside for all the people out in the vending.
Yeah, Will's fucking hilarious. You know, he's a really cool dude. And then I had no idea that he played the sax like that. And
Yeah,
one
I know.
night I was out there and he really fucking set the tone. It was sexy.
Oh yeah, I've had him come out. He's done it for me at like an open mic I did once. And
yeah,
it was pretty cool. Because he plays to music.
Really good at saxophone.
He'll play to Drake, which is good.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, well, that's usually he can play, but when it's just him, he'll just put on he'll put on a song and then like play around it, and it's good. It makes it better.
Literally put on Drake.
Yeah, he'll just put on Drake and he'll just play along to it. He'll put on Kanye and he'll play along to it, and it's good.
That's what he was
Saxophone
doing. Yeah,
Drake.
yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Some
That shit
saxophone
was-
AI Drake.
Exactly.
He would add the saxophone to the Drake song.
That's good.
He would just
As a
add.
fan of sax and
People
a
do
fan of Drake, I'm a fan.
Yeah, that shit. Imagine like.
Do you have that light?
I bet he does bar mitzvahs and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, I bet you can book him for shows.
Yeah,
I would book him for your shows.
I would book him.
He will open up.
Hell yeah.
So George, you came in. I don't know how many episodes we had started doing, but we were already inside by the time.
This year was like the first year that I started working with the crew like consistently. But I think March was like the first month that we started like doing it consistently every month. Because I started working in comedy like a year ago.
Yeah,
basically.
you too, right, Matt? How long ago?
About 2 years,
2
but
years?
but I was doing school, so I would like disappear.
The
for
weird thing
finals
about
and
that though
stuff.
is that I recently saw a photograph of me at Rudyard's 4 years ago. So, but then the pandemic happened, like, cause I graduated, or rather I dropped out of college, like probably, I don't even know,
me
like
too.
I dropped out of college in 2019, but So, but I was doing comedy while I was in college because I would just show up to comedy clubs at Rudyard's and Montrose and stuff like that. And I was like trying to perform as a comic in the beginning because I'm an actor and I was doing like a lot of like performing arts stuff. And my friends were comics and stuff like that. And so I had a lot of friends that were doing comedy shows at like for the Riot and Secret Group and that kind of stuff. And Austin, I moved to Austin doing construction work and flipping burgers and stuff. And I had a bunch of camera gear that I had just over the years from doing photography and stuff like that. So I just started doing like general cinematography work just because I had the camera gear, and I was doing like a lot of like camera work for like avant-garde like art school films and stuff like that. Like, but like
now you're helping out with several shows.
Yeah, I do a lot of shows now.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
And it looks good too. You know,
Yeah,
everyone should go check
yeah.
out your Instagram, man. You have a certain style. It's good shit.
Yeah, very aesthetic. Very aesthetic.
Yeah, it's your own.
Sometimes I feel like over stylizing stuff is like even if you overthink artistic shit, it can always drag on. But I like the way you guys like syndicate your content. You know, you have to provide a certain level of like formula and recipe to it. A lot of what I do is before I got involved in comedy, especially, a lot of the projects I did were like very like I would make like cinematic poetic pictures and stuff like that. You know, motion pictures and dramatic stuff like that had like nuance and meaning. Not saying that stuff isn't valuable, but comedy is. I've been doing comedy, like recording comedy every weekend since like early May, or like probably like mid-May. Like it's been like the Google Drive is ridiculous right now. It's like way too much content. And also, but the great thing about recording the stuff is that like, because we have a lot of content too that we've recorded. That's like a lot. Like the freaking
since you've been on, we
have
at least 5 episodes where we got ready to roll. Since we had Hans Kim on,
we're gonna unleash a bunch of content that's gonna be like a giant waterfall. It's gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah. We did a rebranding of sorts. You know, I'd gone through all these different logos that I designed myself. I don't know anything about anything like that. So I was just like piecing it together, and then it wasn't until we came out here that we met Jeremy, and he had already worked with Ashley.
Yeah, the summer was crazy. During like the whole summer for like comedy was like a whole whirlwind, and it was just like so much stuff was developing and evolving.
Yeah, and the short time you've been on the show, you've seen how much we changed from episode to episode, right?
Because I mean, every month things happen, and it's like so much stuff that
we try to make it tighter.
It keeps on getting awesomer.
It looks better.
We try to do new things.
Yeah, because you know every month has a different nuance to it. I like the fact that we get into the spooky season.
Oh yeah, coming up this episode.
Yeah, October.
We got a crazy episode.
Season.
It's a spooky episode. This episode,
and you know Oktoberfest.
Characters.
You know, October is like my favorite month.
Yeah,
because there's Oktoberfest, and I'm all about the spooks. You know what I mean?
Me too.
I did my first feature film and it was a horror film this year as the lead actor.
Oh yeah, what'd you play?
Yeah.
Killer?
I played a killer. Yeah.
Oh,
I played a killer that. So can't really say too much, but I do kill people as.
And your method, so you went out and you actually.
Well. I did kind of go into a weird mode where I would go into the pool in the morning and it was so cold. It was ridiculous what I would do. And I was at a sleep in Stafford, Texas, like on the south side of Houston. But it was a really cool, like secluded area of Houston called Sienna. And we filmed this entire film at this house for like, it was like a 13-day shoot. And I did the character was sort of based on Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Hell yeah.
But there's like another personality that like dresses up kind of like Buffalo Bill style. Like,
oh damn.
It's kind of crazy. Like I had a whole hairpiece and everything.
You tuck it back?
Not totally.
You gotta watch it. Check it out, guys.
Not totally,
you can't
but
tell us.
It's a good movie though. It's called It's spelled woman, but it's called Woman.
Woman? It's gonna be on Netflix soon?
It's probably going to be on Tubi, BET Plus, Amazon Prime Video.
That's real shit. I want to get the show on
Whoa.
Tubi.
Probably.
Yeah, we should be on Tubi. I was watching some Tubi the other day.
Tubi paid my bills for like whenever I first started out. I was doing Tubi like hood flicks like in the beginning. Like that's how I first started working in film.
No
I was
That's an industry, dude.
yeah. No, I was in Houston
So,
doing
Yeah.
hood flicks, like literally as a sound guy. And the one thing about being a sound guy and doing hood flicks is that I was literally doing sound, and they didn't tell me they were gonna fire blanks. And then in the scene, they were doing like a sequence with a gun, and then I was doing sound as a boom mic operator, and then I hear 2 fucking bullets go off, and the boom goes into the shot, and someone's like, "Hey, why is the boom in the shot?" And I was like, "Why the hell did a gun just go off? What the fuck?" And then
fucking blew your ears out.
no one told me anything, and I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean? What no one told me that." And then they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Nobody told you that the gun was gonna go off?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, and they're like,
I'm glad you could hear them after that.
they were like, "Holy shit, dude!" And I was like,
Not
I
too
was
many
like-
of those going off in comedy shows now, huh?
"Yeah, now it's a lot calmer." I mean, I wanted to move to Austin to have more of like a calm work environment for doing video work, you know. But I liked shooting in the hood. It was fun. It was just we would get kicked out of a lot of places we were shooting at, like, which was kind of funny. Like one time we were shooting in an apartment complex, and the apartment manager just came in and was like, "Hey, you guys do not have permission to be here. Like, you guys need to dip out." And we're like, and that happened to us twice in that same day. And then, but we were like we were shooting with cinema red cameras and like had the whole professional
Oh man,
stuff.
I
It
love
was-
all the toys you got, dude.
we fucking had all this ridiculous stuff that was like, we had monitors, and the director would bring his director chair around the hood, just like having it, just like in like he'd take out the chair, flick it open, and then have the monitor in his headphones.
One of my
and
favorite things you use.
We'd
is
be
the
like
drone.
we'd be like in 3rd Ward, 5th Ward in Houston, just like with these cameras. Like it was crazy, but it was great fun though. And we had shot this movie called Candy 2. If you guys want to watch it on Tubi, Candy 2. There's a sequel to Candy 1. Yeah. Candy 2. That shit's great.
Oh man. Well, shit. All right. Yeah. You let I'm all fucked up, dude. You let us use that drone. That shit was fun.
Yeah. So the goal I think eventually, with a lot of the footage we've been shooting, is to compile it into like a documentary sort of thing for the summer of 2023, because with the explosion of the Austin comedy scene, the Hight Night Show has been able to keep up with the evolution of it. So I think there's a thread line in the whole narrative of the Austin comedy explosion that the Hight Night Show can benefit from. So
Yeah, one of the things we did with that was just to be able to like go beyond the show. Like the first spinoff was the Secretly High show that Matt produced. You've been to a few of those, right?
I came and shot some photographs at Roscoe's.
Yeah.
Tell them about the Secretly High show.
That
Matt.
shit was pretty funny.
So it's
That shit's fun.
it's a secret lineup of comics where half of the comics are secretly high, and the audience has to guess which comics are high after they're set. And if they're right, they get a prize.
Right, and we come out, we throw a few like pre-rolls.
Yeah, you
from
just
our-
put the-
I thought it was so
Secretly
funny how you
show.
guys like couldn't really see who you were throwing joints to, so you're just going, "Hey, who wants a joint?" Like,
Yeah,
just
just
tossing some
tossing it.
stoners
Well,
just getting hit in the head of
yeah.
the joint, going clink. And they're
Oh, yeah.
Try to
"What's
be
up?"
generous.
This
Do
one-
some underhand.
This
you know?
one, remember that last time at that show, there was this one guy who was just like, you could tell that he was really high. Like it was probably his first time smoking. And he was just like, ha, ha. Like he was just like on stage and getting crazy. That one dude. Like, do you remember that?
I think so. Are you talking about the guy who,
He had like
we-
purple pants on.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
Purple Pants, was he the one who we were like gonna guess if he was high?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
it's pretty
It's a good
wild,
time.
like-
It's a cool show. It's a very interactive. The audience kind of gets to check in after every person gets to win something.
Roscoe's is very intimate too, you know. Like
Yeah.
you guys were right there in front of them, like just handing joints out, being like, "Shh, take this shit, dude." No, it's cool. I like how, but also Roscoe's green room is trippy. How deep it is into the earth.
Oh yeah, it feels like going into a basement.
Like
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
crazy down there. Like
Pretty cool.
it literally feels like you're like going further and further into the ground, and it's just trippy because like once you get really stoned and you look down there, it's like you get vertigo almost. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Like this shit was nuts. But yeah, like I think it's really cool, the concept of, I think smoking weed and having laughs are synonymous. So it's cool to add a product level to it that people can consume. That's I think what's cool about the Hight Tonight show in general is that the word of mouth experience, it for it being like, to being there at the show.
I mean, that's how you heard about it, right? You what through a table the Matt was doing all around?
I'm not even sure.
You were like near campus or something like that?
Yeah.
Or no, had you already been coming to Creek? I remember Matt.
I don't even know.
So Matt, we do these tables. Usually do them at the Glassmith location?
Yeah, we like to set them up at the Glassmith, just because it's a very popular student spot. And we'll hang out. We'll do usually like a bingo ball, and you get to roll and try to win some Jeremy Greens. They have the classic brand is Jeremy Greens. That's the Glassmith THCA
candy too
flower brand.
Oh shit, we gotta update our thing. Look at that. That's from last October, dude.
Whoa, let's reuse that.
That's fun.
No, that was that October? Was that March? Yeah, that was for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. So that was about the same time that I started getting on. It was March. It was around
Chiba
March.
Hut. Oh, let's shout out Chiba Hut. We've worked with them as well. We will table there too. That's a good, nice.
It's a nice little website you guys got here.
And we just do like,
it's nice.
Yeah, Ashley put it together. Yeah, Chiba Hut is a weed themed sub shop
sandwich place. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Really good. All their sandwiches are like named after strains.
Really?
They have, they're the #1 purveyor of Kool-Aid in the nation.
What?
We didn't get to talk about that when we had Joe on the show, but they are. He told us that.
What the fuck?
I want to have him back on.
Yeah, we should. He's gonna opening up a second location soon. They've got one near campus, and then they're opening up a second location soon.
Yeah, we had him on, and who do we talk about? They have like it was for a cause.
They were. I don't remember. I believe it was for veterans though. Or no. I believe
weed.
it was.
It was like
it was weed. It was people who were charged with weed offenses that are now outdated, and they help exonerate. And
it had a cool name.
Yeah, it had a catchy name. We'll plug it when we find it. But they work with them.
Yeah, man, I love having people on just to talk about that, and he's a cool dude.
He's super
a fun
cool
spot. He does Wednesday night, like go-kart night.
Yeah, Wednesday night game nights. You get to like win prizes. I think it's like gift cards or something. You just got to play Mario Kart.
Their subs are called what? The Nug.
The Nug is the 3-inch. The Pinner is it 6-inch, and then they have a foot long that's called the Blunt.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty great.
I actually won on 420. I won their food eating contest. I ate a 2-foot long sandwich.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I took a good recording of that. That's somewhere on our
I almost threw up a little
Instagram.
bit.
How long was that thing?
It was 2 feet.
You ate 2 feet of sandwich.
Chicken.
And I
it
saw
was spicy.
it happen.
They made it spicy. I asked them if they could go no jalapenos, and they said no. And they put more jalapenos than they normally do. That's what another worker told me afterwards. I was like, that's fucked
rightfully
up.
so.
No.
How did it feel? How did it feel after you ate it? Like
he did it so easily, dude. He was fine. He asked for more food after.
I did take a bite.
What the fuck?
They have a brownie, and I got a brownie beforehand because I was super cocky going in. I was like, I'm gonna eat a brownie afterwards.
Yeah, you're a big guy, dude.
And I took a bite. But that was still pushing it. I was really full for like an hour.
No one was allowed to help.
For an hour.
Yeah, I was really full for like an hour. But then I was just like, and then I was just back to normal. Like I could have eaten.
Oh my god, Matt.
It's okay. I've actually lost like 20 pounds since then. Like I've lost like 80 pounds since football. I used to be like 320 pounds.
Dude,
I could bench 405 pounds.
It was all the creatine you were taking, probably.
I used to take some creatine, but I didn't take anything really. Protein powder, I liked protein powder when you mixed it with milk. I was like, that's like a little chocolate milkshake. And I would just drink the heck out of those.
Last night, what I had for dinner was like this really intense banana split milkshake that I made for myself. You guys ever had just like, before you sleep, just make a giant milkshake for yourself?
Right when they're about to go bad.
Yeah. I put some bananas in there, and it was just disgusting. It was just a lot of milkshake, dude. but it didn't have any protein in it though.
Nah, I don't do a lot of workout shit. I ran for a mile for the first time
Yeah?
2 days ago.
Whoa,
For
I
a
didn't know you
long
could go a
time.
mile.
I
That's
did.
crazy. How
I
long
didn't
did it
know
take you?
either.
How long
You
did it
ran
take
a
you?
Like
mile?
10, 15 minutes.
Liar, you're
I
a
swear
liar.
to
I was gonna say
God.
30.
I was on
gonna
the
say 30
incline.
minutes. You are lying.
Dead ass.
You're
bro.
lying to
It's
everybody.
easy. I can do that
You're
shit. I'm gonna
lying.
do it again
You're
today.
lying.
I'm
You're
gonna
lying.
record it. I was on the treadmill. I was
don't
on a
believe, bro.
5
I don't believe you even a little
incline.
You're
bit.
at 5
I
incline.
was
Why were
on
you
a
on
4.5
Why were you doing that to your
level,
knees? Don't
so-
do that.
I
Don't do
don't
5
believe
that
you.
incline.
Now you're
bad?
telling me there's
Yeah,
an
don't do
incline?
5 incline on your knees. That's bad.
Is that
That's
bad?
for
You have no
Yeah, it's
clue.
just bad for your
You
I
knees.
was
didn't do
doing
it.
it in my Yeezys. It wasn't so hard at all.
Be level. Be level with it, and it's all about you want to cushion your impact into the floor. If you're at an incline, it's a stressor on your knees and your ankles.
I like the stairs. They just don't have the stairs at my gym. So
Just find some stairs and go up and down.
nah, 'cause
Hey,
that's
hey.
weird.
It's
That's
not.
not at the gym. I want to be at the gym doing it.
So no, honestly, so the other day I was at the gym, right, boys, and I was getting cocky, with the free weights, and I did this one joint right here, right. I got the free weights, and I went like this. I went, like this, and I felt something in my back, like kind of like tinge a little bit. I was like, whoa, and then I was starting to breathe funny. I could feel this muscle in my back, acting strange, and honestly. My point is, working out is not all that. You know what I'm saying? Being muscular, you know what they do in movies to make them look like that, like all like Hugh Jackman, Wolverine-ish. They dehydrate themselves for like several hours, like 17 hours. They don't drink any water and they lift weights profusely. So they're thin. But they also take creatine to make their blood vessels dilated. So they have a bunch of like crazy like pre-workout stuff. And no water, so the skin is very like thin and like like elastic. So it's like thin skin, but like really big veins. And they lift weights, and then they just like get crazy.
See, it's either that or like have
And they take
titties.
steroids.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that's not even real. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Matt doesn't do steroids,
Nah,
right? Do you?
I was natty. No, even in football, I'm not gonna say who, but there were people who would take I forgot what it was called, but it was like it was not for humans. Is what it says on there.
Horse steroids?
Not horse steroids. It was something, man. I don't remember what they're called.
oh my god,
SARMs?
dude!
I don't remember.
And you took it?
No, I never took it, but there were some people who took it, and they used to be. I used to live with them, and then all of a sudden they would get a lot stronger, and then they would tell me like, "Yeah, I'm taking this thing," and I'd be like, "They're like, it's just pills, man," and I'm like, "But it's not for humans, and I'm sure you're not supposed to be taking it."
Dude.
And they would get stronger than me, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm just strong." I'm like, "No, you're not. No, you're not."
You'd be cycling, dude. Like
steroids.
Yeah, but
see, that's what I meant. That's what I meant by that. I mean, I feel like any D1 athlete knows about it. Like in the locker room, everyone's just doing
steroids. Though, no, I mean that's
performance
there's
enhancing.
other things you can do.
Would you consider weed a performance enhancing drug?
I never did it while playing, but I will say I feel more athletic now than before.
I was thinking
when I was
you
playing
should
football,
get back in, dude.
I should like do something, right? I could do something.
That's my segue. I was
Maybe I
thinking you should come back into football, American football.
I don't know how.
The Houston Texans need you.
I don't even know what I play now.
Well,
I'm like, I don't know.
You could be like Travis Kelce. You could be the next Travis Kelce. You could date Taylor Swift.
I went for like a jog the other day and I was so tired. I couldn't do it. Football workouts are hard. They're not like, I don't know.
You just said you got so tired.
They're not real.
You
do them?
Oklahoma drill.
I would do football things and I would literally be like, I'm going to die. Yeah. I'm going to die. And I would just think like, whatever. I guess I'm going to die. It's too embarrassing to like,
look, man,
to stop.
Remember,
so I'm just gonna
each other,
die, I guess. And then you wouldn't die, and then you're like, you wouldn't die, and then you're like, afterwards, you just have a whole new perspective on life. You're like, dude, I shouldn't be alive.
Yeah, you hit each other head on. Did you guys do blood alley?
I used to. Yeah, I hit this one guy. He went to the NFL. I hit this one guy. I swear to God, everything went white for a little bit.
Yeah, you're supposed to. They want you to see lightning.
Yeah, that's like kind of what they want, I guess. It was like a weird. I was pulling thing, and the only thing was afterwards. Because I thought I was fucked up. Afterwards, he was like, "Hey man, fuck with you, you fucked my neck up." He told me that afterwards, and I was like, "Dude, I'm glad you felt something because I was
you
dead for a
couple
little bit there.
years of your life.
Yeah, I definitely did.
And then, you know,
I
that's
definitely
usually
took a couple
in
years
practice before
That's
school.
insane.
That's why.
insane.
That's why.
You guys both
I'm
just
super
got
healthy now.
concussions.
That's why I
Yeah,
only
was that
eat
called
straight
CTE?
up
I'm on a thin
in
diet
practice.
now.
In practice, right? You guys both just got concussions in practice.
No, I will say
Every day.
I had
Just oh
to
my
this
god,
day.
dude, that's insane.
I had like I didn't get any. I don't know. I think I never got any concussions because I would always still remember like what my
That's
name
what
was
it's called,
and where
right?
I was.
CTE.
Yeah, CTE. That's probably
That's what Michael
probably a
Vick
smidgen.
had.
Let's not talk about it though. I don't know why. Every single time I tell people like they're like, man, you're so big. Did you play football? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, do you still do it?
You
And I was
should
like,
lie.
no, I stopped. Like,
You should lie now. You should.
I stopped.
You should be like, no, I never played. I never played ball. Just in your mind, be like, just thinking about like whistles, you know, just like fucking plastic on plastic, you know, just grinding and the gridiron, you know.
Yeah.
But I ran track though. What about you? Did you ever do track? Like, did you ever like throw the stone or toss the disc?
I used to throw
Because you you.
I used to throw, and
you
then
threw
when
the
I
rock.
was
You
when
definitely
I-
threw the rock.
yeah.
You definitely did. You did shot put. You shot put it, right?
That's what I said.
What about you? Did you ever shot put?
I can't toss that shit very far at all.
I shot putted. I was in there
couldn't
just
get it outside the circle.
I am not a big dude, bro, you know, but back in the day I was a chubby kid back in the day. So I was in shot put, but in high school though, in junior high I did shot put, but in high school I ran track and field, and you know what we did? You ever heard of a plyo?
No.
So we'd run 300 meters or we would run 3 laps. So it'd be like it'd be what? It'd be like 1200 meters. We'd run 1200 meters full speed and then jump over hurdles after walking 100 meters. And then we'd run 2 laps. Oh, it's like, yeah, so we'd run 3 laps full speed on a track. And then we'd jump over hurdles. And then we'd run 2 laps full speed, jump over hurdles, and then run 1 lap full speed, jump over hurdles. And that was like every Friday we'd do that. It's called plyo. And dude, everybody would be shitting bricks. Like we'd be like eating shit on the hurdles, you know? Like, but because the thing is we'd smoke massive blunts before plyos because we were crazy. Imagine doing that. Imagine running 3 laps on the track full speed, like in high school. Like that was too much, dude.
I wouldn't want to.
Like
I
they
don't
would,
like it.
But the thing is, the coaches would run with you sideways, parallel to you. Be like, come on, dude, don't be a bitch, dude. Come on, George. Come on.
Yeah, you got
Like,
skinny little legs though, man.
it
I
was
can't do
wild,
it.
dude.
I'm too thick. I can't. I'm slow. I'm
What
not
happened? I
interested.
thought you ran a mile in 10 minutes.
But I did that.
Yeah, that was-
on-
that's
on
decent. That's
on a
decent
treadmill. On a treadmill.
That's a
You're
very
lying.
decent pace, Victor.
I think so.
That's a
how
very
I
were
do
you
it.
holding the hell out of the
Yeah,
sides?
of course.
Oh, okay, that doesn't
You're
count.
skating,
Oh, you're supposed to let go?
skating on there.
Oh man, yeah, you were
The
going
machine.
on. You're like on the moon. You had way less gravity.
The
What?
machine could have cut off.
Okay, then this makes way more sense now.
Nah,
That
man.
was gonna bug me forever.
I was running with that shit.
Oh
I'm gonna
my God.
I'm doing it again today.
Okay, good. No, you should.
I'll
I mean,
show
start
ya.
somewhere. That's good. I'm
I'll show
proud of
ya.
you. I'm proud of you. That's what I should be.
busting a
I'm proud of
sweat,
you. That's
okay?
good. Bust that sweat.
You're
You're doing a little
I
arm
haven't
workout while you're doing that. That's
mostly
probably that's good.
I've been
vegan
working at my arms,
all
you know what I'm saying,
summer.
recently, dude. And hey, I can tell you what, boys, I'm starting to see some changes. You know, the chicks are digging it. You know,
Yeah,
they're
you're
like,
trying
wow,
to get some
George.
high tea, dude.
Especially whenever I wear hoodies like this, like you can
You
really
helped
see
me
the arms.
move, man. You lifted some fucking boxes, dude.
Yeah, tell him how strong I am. I'm pretty strong.
The heaviest stuff was for George. He got
Okay.
like
Yeah,
all
dude, yeah.
fucking crazy
Yeah, think about it like
strong.
this, boys. I helped him move the skate. I weigh 160 pounds, and I helped move. And we got this guy, and we got Danny. We got Danny too.
I helped him move.
Oh yeah, did you help him move?
Yeah, I
at the
helped
very
him
end.
move. Yeah, the end.
That
I helped
couch?
him move his
That couch?
couch and bed frame.
Yeah, did you say yeah,
The
that's
li-
it?
Right?
That's
This
what-
guy
yeah.
had some heavy boxes. We lost some forks though along the way.
Oh,
It's
really?
sad. Yeah, I can't find them now.
Some forks?
It's really bothering us. We've unpacked everything.
How many forks we talking?
Something always gets lost in
The
every
silver?
move.
How many?
They were
forks
actually
we talking?
very nice. They were like silver forks and like
Yeah.
spoons,
IKEA looking.
like boxes and shit. George, you took them? You took my fucking forks and shit, George?
If I took the forks, what, dude?
Someone
Dude,
was gonna have
Do
to.
you realize
All
that,
right.
dude? Nah,
I never
dude.
thought of it
You're-
that way.
you're- I bet. If you do some digging, I bet the forks are in a pile somewhere, just like under something, and you're gonna move out of that place and move like an object, and a bunch of forks are gonna just come.
I think the landlady took it.
living in apartment
I think we
complexes are
left
kind of interesting though in Austin. I've found out that the people who run apartment complexes will come into your apartment just like whenever you're not there. Like they'll just come visit and hang out. Like I walked in one time and there was just a painter just in my apartment, just sitting in my couch, just like hanging out with my dog. Yeah, I walked in and I was like, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Hey, well, that's what I meant." And he got up and left.
Fucking guy.
And I was like,
That's a lot.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
I think I'm gonna go, but
Yeah.
I think but I think that's a good wrap. We talked about the show. I can't think of anything else to ask.
We're
I
gonna be
guess
coming in Sundays every Sunday.
Every Sunday we'll be here. You can listen to us whenever though. We'll be in the main stage in the showroom every last Wednesday at 10 p.m. Get here at like 9 p.m. We got local vendors, local businesses like Dalik. We got some other really cool people, some other UT students. I'll shout them out. Smoke Toki. We'll have them here on the pod probably.
Toki. We need to have them on.
Yeah, we're gonna
invite them out next Sunday or something. These are fun. Like
I think we're having Colton next Sunday.
Oh, Colton.
Yeah.
Okay, well he wants to probably talk to them.
Okay, yeah, we'll get them both on.
I mean, I don't know if there's enough room.
Yeah, we do. We're
Tell
gonna.
them both
Our
to come
Instagram.
through.
Yes, please. Our Instagram.
We can see a couple the Hight Tonight Show on Instagram.
See some pics. See what it's like to hang out with us. We do vendor shout outs on there as well. You can see who you can gonna come out. A lot of local businesses. Smoke Toki. They're bring your portable bong company.
They
we'll have them out. They're super cool.
I think they're turn these boxes into a bong. They're really cool guys.
Yeah.
We had them on the last show, and they had a fucking bong pumpkin. It was
pumpkin,
literally a pumpkin. It was just.
Oh yeah, those guys are really cool.
Yeah,
those guys are really cool.
All you have to do is stab it, and they turn like a fucking water bottle into a bong.
So
cool guys,
come hang out with us.
all right, cool. Well, this has been the Hight Today show.
Hight Today.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Peace out.
Yeah.